Hello everyone, a pleasant day. I am Toshiki Sulaiman from BSSW 2. I am here to discuss my report, which is A Hero is Born 1861. As you can read, this is the saying of Dr. Sarisal, which means highlights his beliefs in the importance of education and personal development as a foundation for achieving true liberty and progress for our country. Rizal recognized that truth freedom cannot be achieved without a well-educated and empowered citizenry by emphasizing education and labor. He aimed to empower the people to have their own identity and become deserving of the liberties they seek. So, a hero is born in 1861. Dr. Jose Rizal was born in Calamba, the 19th of June 1861 between 11 and 12 o'clock at night, a few days before the full of the moon. Dr. Jose Rizal was the greatest hero of the Philippines, was a many-explanatory genius. He was richly dowered by God and superbly intellectual, moral, and physical qualities. So, grabe sobrang gifted ng ating pambansang bayani. Truly, he ranks with the world geniuses. He was an anthropologist, botanist, businessman, cartographer, dramatist, economist, educator, engineer, essayist, ethnologist, farmer, folklorist, geographer, grammarian, historian, horticulturist, humorist, logograph, linguistic, musician, novelist, and painter, physician, poet, philologist, philosopher, polemist, psychologist, satirist, sculptor, sportsman, psychologist, surveyor, traveler, sociologist. More than all this, he was a patriot, hero, and martyr. Unlike many geniuses, he was consecrated his God-given talents and even sacrificed his own life for the redemption and welfare of his people. Verily, a man of his heroism and versatility appears but once in the history of any nation. The world when Rizal was born. Taong 1861, no, taong pinanganak si Rizal, the Philippines was browsing redolently beneath the shadow of the clouds. Past Hispanica reigned over the entire archipelago. The people, despite their bondage to Spain, were enjoying their serene, simple, and Christian way of life. Comparatively speaking, they were better off than the subject peoples in the English, Dutch, and Portuguese colonies during the age. The Spanish Governor General then was a good militarist, General Jose Lemery, whose achievement worthy of historical citation was the establishment of the political military government of the Visayas and Mindanao. Beyond the frontiers of the Philippines, the world was sitting in the throes of political strifes, social alpayavela, and international intrigues. Gangatua, China was prostrate, impotent to stop the predatory Western powers who were busy laughing their riches. On October 22, 1860, wars with England and France were ended by the infamous Conventions of Peking, in which she lost more territories and was forced to grant more commercial concessions to the imperialist foreign devils. The imperialist Western powers, flushed with their victories in China, tried to make a repeat performance in Japan, whose door was unlocked in 1854 to the world by the American Commodore Matthew C. Perry. Their efforts were, however, foiled by the valiant Japanese people, whose Bushido spirit outmatched the intruders' superior firepower. In Indochina, the French troops of Emperor Napoleon III, strangely aided by Filipino soldiers from Manila, were smashing down enemy's resistance. In 1858, Saigon was captured by the combined Filipino-French forces, and 4 years later, after France acquired Cochin, China. In January January 1861, Benito Juarez, Indo-blooded hero, entered Mexico City at the head of his victorious India and Mexican troops and proclaimed the restoration of Mexican independence. Archduke Maximilian of Austria, who had dreamed of ruling Mexico with the help of French bayonets, was executed. March of 1861 saw the emancipation of the Serbs in Russia by Caesar Alexander II. The following of civil war exploded in the United States over this slavery question and the issue of secession. Europe was in turmoil. The German states were being forged into the one nation by Bismarck, notwithstanding Austria's opposition. South of the Alps, Xavier and Garibaldi, in defiance of Austria's might, were rallying Italy to unite and fight for Italy Redenta. In France, the Second Napoleonic Empire, beset by domestic and foreign troubles and misgoverned by Napoleon III, was crumbling to pieces. Only England, of all the great powers, was experiencing relative peace and prosperity under the able rule of Queen Victoria. She defeated Russia in the Crimean War 1853-56, acquired rich colonies in the East, and attained a new height of glory in diplomacy and literature. Spain, unlike England, fared ill under the rule of a woman, Queen Isabella II, 1883, at the age of 68. She had lost her rich colonies, except Cuba and Puerto Rico, in the New World. Her descendants was accelerated by the chronic Carlist War, the reunions, political squabbles, and the bungling policies of her inept monarch. Such was the global situation at the time of Rizal's advent. The birth of a hero. Near midnight of Wednesday, June 19, 1861, when the Philippines was in deep slumber, a frail baby boy was born to the Rizal family in Calamba, Laguna. It was a moonlight night, being a few days before the full of the moon. The delivery was exceedingly difficult, and the mother almost died. Her seemingly miraculous survival was was attributed to Our Lady of Peace and Good Voyage. Years later, Jose Rizal recorded in his boyhood memoirs, "It was a Wednesday, and my arrival in his valley of tears would have cost my mother her life, had she not vowed to the Virgin of Antipolo that she would take me on the pilgrimage to that shrine." That baby boy was baptized by Rev. Rufino Colantes in the Catholic Church of Calamba on June 22, 1861, 3 days after his birth. His godfather was Rev. Pedro Cafias. He was named Jose by his pious mother in honor of Saint Joseph. The full name of the baby boy, who was destined to be a hero of the Philippines, was become the greatest genius and hero of the Philippines, was Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado Alonzo Realonda. So, Jose was the seventh of the 11 children of Francisco Mercado Rizal and Theodora Alonzo Realonda. Both father and mother were model Filipino parents, devotedly religious, educated, industrious, affectionate, strict, hospitable, and civic-spirited. The hero's father, Francisco, was born in Bidan, Laguna on May 11, 1818, and died in Manila on January 6, 1898, at the age of 80. He was an educated farm, having studied Latin and philosophy at the age at the College of San Jose in Manila in early manhood. After his mother's death, he moved to Calamba and became a tenant farmer of the Dominican estate. He married a college-bred Manilifeña Teodora Alonzo Arriolanda on June 28, 1848. Dr. Sarisal, his greatest child, affectionately called him a model of fathers. He was a quiet, serious, frugal man, taller than the average Filipino, with wide shoulders, brown complexions, prominent forehead, large dark eyes, large ears, and firm jaws. The hero's mother, Theodora, was born in Manila um, on November 8, 1826, and died in Manila on August 16, 1911, at the age of 85. Graduated at Santa Rosa College, she was a talented woman with high culture, business ability, and literary gift. Dr. Sarson, loving her as much as his father said of her, my mother is more than a woman of ordinary culture. She knows literature and speaks Spanish better than she as a mathematician, and she has read many books. Aside from helping her husband in farming and business, she looked after the education and moral training of her numerous children. The Rizal children, God bless, and the marriage of Francisco Mercado Rizal and Teodora Alonzo Realonda, with 11 children, 2 boys and 9 girls. These children were follows. The first is Saturnina. She was the oldest of the Rizal children. She married Manuel V. Hidalgo of Tanawan Balang. So, the second is Pasiano. He was the older brother of Dr. Zarizal. After his younger brother's execution, he joined the revolution and become a general. After the revolution, he retired to his farm in Los Baños and led the life of a gentleman farmer. He died an old bachelor, though he had a common law wife. The third is Narcisa. She married Antonino Lopez, a school teacher of Marong Rizal. The fourth is Olympia. He married Silvestre Ubaldo, a telegraph operator from Manila. Lucia. She married Mariano Herbosa of Calamba. Maria, she married Daniel Faustino Cruz of Binyan, Laguna, and Jose, our hero, the lucky seven, in a family of 11 children. He married Josephine Bracken, pretty Irish from Hong Kong, Concepcion, and she died at the age of 3. And the next is Josefa. She did not marry. She died an old she died an old maid. Next is Trinidad, and she died an old maid like Josefa. Soledad, she was the youngest of the Rizal children. She married Pantaleon Quintero of Calamba. And that's how our hero born. And again, I am Toshagil Sulaiman from BSSW 2.